slow coffee drinking, banana eating, smooth talking, vegan since 2013.
The one and only
AdamJosh.com.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, and welcome to the Morning Banana Show, number 142. My name is Adam Josh. That is what my mama named me. Thank you all for joining the show. Thank you. Thank you for being here. It is what, Thursday morning, the 30th? Is it the 30th? No. Is it the 29th? Yes. Thursday, September 29th. It is 8:30 a.m. We're going to have a coffee and a banana together, as we do on the Morning Banana Show, and we're going to chit-chat real quick before work. So thank you for joining me. Let's crack into a banana and get right into it. So real quick, before everything else, we're going to check the shoeing vibes. We're in a bit of a cool down period here. Going to flip over to Ukraine, check what's going on. 16 cameras here in the Ukraine in all different parts, live streaming on YouTube. And Ukraine looks nice and peaceful, calm. This guy over here is just hanging out, listening to earphones, little green van. Little old ladies, lady pushing a carriage. Camera up there in Chemsfu, panning left and right, looking at beautiful countryside. I gotta say, the Ukraine is looking pretty good right now. Cam 55 over there, where is that? Still doing that parade, or the festival. Still doing it. They know how to party in the Ukraine. Last time I did a Morning Banana Show, in Odessa, they were still having that. They were having that festival, so that's been going on for a while. Ukraine knows how to party. Need 10% for the big guy. 10% of that party. Welcome to the Morning Banana Show. I'm checking the stock market, pre-market real quick, as I do. All right. Live streams looks okay. We are live. Welcome to the Morning Banana Show. I'm just clicking through some tabs real quick. Florida. 2.9 million people without power. Yeah, Florida. I feel bad for people in Florida. I asked my cousin, who has a home in Florida, how's your place? Do you have home insurance? And he said he has insurance, and he was on vacation, him and his family, cousins and second cousins. So I have another friend that I should reach out to, Mike, and I will do that. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but if you look at the Nexrad imagery, you'll see that Nexrads have been firing off all over and heating the atmosphere. So I don't know if the Nexrad stations are an attempt to steer the hurricane away or whatnot, but Nexrad stations are real, and they are really putting out visible heat into the clouds. Not a conspiracy theory. Look it up. What else can I tell you? My mom is still in the hospital. I visited her last night after going to her apartment. I'm lighting some incense. She finally admits that she needs help, which is a good thing. one of the reasons I called the ambulance on her half a month ago now was because I walked into her apartment and found her on the couch. Not the first time. Saying that she's stuck to the couch. And it sounds like a joke, but then you ask, like, how long have you been on the couch? She said a couple days. And you haven't moved? No. She's peed, she pooed herself, and she hasn't been eating. So it sounds like a joke at first, but it's not. And now, when I walked into the hospital room last night, she was, in her own words, stuck to the hospital bed, which is, again, hilarious on one hand. On the other hand, it's kind of like indicative of the fact that she has no strength. So I said, pull yourself up, Mom. Pull yourself up. Use your legs, use your arms if you're stuck, like, slouched into the bed. And she was really trying, but she said, I need help. And I said, okay, thank the gods. You finally admit that you need help. And she said, of course I need help, Adam. Okay, well, first time I've heard it. I'm glad to finally hear it. After however many years of helping my mom, cooking her food, bringing her food every week. Yeah. I know that she has daily assistant buddies that come and help her with this and that, so she's finally admitting that she needs help, though, which is a nice improvement. But if you're curious, yeah, a lifetime of alcoholism, clinical depression, diabetes complications, not taking her insulin because she's drunk, or constantly boozing, which spikes the blood sugar, combination of that and alcohol when you stand up from sitting on the couch makes you dizzy, you black out, you hit your head. She's fallen many times, deteriorating, scared of falling in the shower, scared of falling in the apartment, scared of falling while going downstairs, so doesn't move. So further just isolates into sitting on the couch. But if you ask her up until now, it's been, I want to be independent, I want to be left alone. I've offered her to live with me, I've offered her to live in a group setting. Up until now, she has said no. So this is the situation with my mom. Up until recently, she's had, I'd say, most of her wits about her, but I feel like lately she's been deteriorating. And again, this is just a result of poor life choices, and she's 71 years old. You know, humans don't last forever. And so I've been watching my mom deteriorate and die for the last, 5-6 years, pretty aggressively. But this last little bit, last couple years, last year specifically, has been visibly more so deteriorating than previous. Excuse me. A single lady who wants to live independently in a one-bedroom apartment. So, if I offered her a place in my house, I have stairs, I would have to figure out where to put her, and now she's incontinent, which is a new development. She can't hold her pee or poo anymore. So when I say she's deteriorating, I mean she's deteriorating, fam. Yeah. So that's a whole other challenge, and I would have to retrofit my entire house and also have a PSW at my house 3 times a day. So if somebody at this point is willing to offer PSW 3 days a week in her own apartment, if she can get to the point where physical rehab is going to clear her to go home, then that's one thing. But yeah, she was excited last night about the rehab aspect of being discharged from where she is currently at. So she thinks being discharged from the hospital and moved into physical rehab is being discharged, but it's just another room in the hospital. So it's sad to watch your parents deteriorate, but with my mom, it's like, gee, who could have seen this coming? If only there was something we could have done. But we've been trying to help my mom for years, and she's been so stubborn up until now, when it's almost too late, that it's like, gee, if only you would have listened to us. And you can't force somebody. At the end of 40 years of alcoholism, she's realized maybe I made a bad choice. But that's what clinical depression does to the brain, where this is the argument I've been having, is like, you give bodily autonomy and autonomous decision making to adults who have clinical depression, who have diabetes, as long as they're not a harm to themselves and to others. But also you agree and admit that her decision making and frontal cortex, prefrontal cortex, her decision making powers and abilities are all impaired because of her depression and low blood sugar and brain issues. So you admit that, but in the same breath you're going to say that you've given her bodily autonomy, and as long as she's not a harm to herself or to others, she can make decisions for herself. So the two don't add up. It's a crazy world. So I'm here at our rust check shop. It is rust check season. I may not look like it, but I have doubled my numbers from September 2021. So I was looking into it myself, because doing a few extra is nice, but to actually double your numbers from last year, that's something else. So I looked into it, and it turns out there is a rust check shop in Hamilton that is now permanently closed. And that's real sad that the rust checks, for whatever reason, maybe they don't feel like they have a lot of corporate support, or maybe they looked at a seasonal business as a way to make money, and then actually got into the seasonal business and realized the season ends, and then they're sitting around twiddling their thumbs like, what do we do now? This happens. I've seen it before. It's like opening up, in Niagara, opening up a road salting business or a snowplow business, and then in summertime being like, where is the work? So at best, rust proofing is a seasonal business, and that is the most polite way to say it. And if you don't know that going into it, then or don't have a backup plan, I don't recommend getting into it. So as some of you may know, this isn't our only thing. And if it was our only thing, we'd probably have closed it down years ago. But we've been in rust proofing since the 90s and a rust check shop since 2012. So not our only thing. And so we look at this as, we look at the rust check shop as like a cool side hustle, another income stream. Never in my life would I say like I'm banking all my dollars and everything on my rust check business. And I would never stop everything else just to do rust check business for the rest of my life. So it's a cool thing that I do, and I enjoy it, and I'm good at it. My customers, aside from one on Google reviews, I've had good experiences. So yeah, I doubled my numbers. It's real sad that other people close around me, and I wish that it wasn't the case, but there can be only one. Anybody can go buy cans of rust check and spray it on their cars. It's a whole different animal to have a car shop with hoists in it and do that process for other people. So to have a car shop with hoists in it and barrels of rust check and a compressor and lines and all that incurs huge overheads that if you're not already doing it for some other reason, you're doing it specifically now for a seasonal business. Do you see the problem? So when you're out of season, you have to justify the shop with the compressors and the hoists. Most people will think, the first thing that comes to your mind and most everybody's mind is, oh, it's easy, I'll just have a mechanic in there. The mechanic will do rust check on the side. It doesn't work like that, because no mechanic wants to work in a shop that's covered everywhere in oil, because, especially in 2022, a lot of mechanics don't want to get their hands dirty. So if you ask a mechanic to get his hands dirty seasonally, he'll say, no, I'm not going to do that. He might do it for a bit, then he quits. You can also share a shop with a mechanic Doesn't work. All the stuff gets oily. It just doesn't work. We've tried it all. Again, if you ever want to seriously talk about rust proofing and the business end of it, contact your boy. It's seasonal, and I'm just saying that from one business manager, one business guy to the next. If you're thinking about getting into it, it's seasonal. You're gonna make a lot of money in the season. Sure. And we can maximize that with ads, brand awareness, top of mind advertising, so people think about you first, and then you have to have an infrastructure to be able to handle the rush of people all at the same time. But at the end of the day, that rush of people is seasonal, and then it's going to taper off, and then you're going to have nobody for a large stretch of months. And if you can't suffer that, if you can't endure that, then you shouldn't be in the rust proofing industry, my friends. We can tweak the season, but at the end of the day, the ebbs and waves come and go. And we've tried to fight it for years, and now we just go along with it for the last 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. How long have we had a restaurant for? In 2012, we built our first restaurant, and all these years later, we have 6. So, am I standing around waiting for our Rust Check customers to come in summertime? Absolutely not. That's been the Morning Banana Show. I appreciate you guys. I'm stuck here at the shop till January at least. Thank you for following. You can follow me on Twitter at adamjosh.com. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Instagram. So if you want to find out what I'm up to in the moment, go to adamjosh.com or follow me on Twitter. That's how you do it. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. I'm not hiding in a corner in Niagara. All the information I've already given you would be more than enough for you to find me in person. Yeah. So take care of yourselves. Have a great day.